A certain pastor has been gaining a lot of popularity in Nigeria lately because of his prophecies. He goes by the name of Bishop Daniel Oluwafeyi Iropo, or Bishop Feyi, or Fine Boy Pastor to his admirers. I mean, just look at this. He's married, by the way. This pastor believes that Tinubu, president-elect, will not be sworn in as president. And he believes that Peter Obi will be sworn in as president instead. And all this is because of a vision he had. Like a prophecy, telling a prophecy. Normally I wouldn't speak about this stuff. This is not a spiritual channel by any means. But in my past video, I talked about, the whole collusion between Peter Obi and Bishop David Oyedepo.
Good morning, Daddy. Praise the Lord. How are you, sir? Fine, Daddy. Good morning, Daddy.
Claimed that they were trying to, start a religious war. So this time I just said, let's go spiritual. Maybe that's where the solution lies to all these issues in Nigeria, because the physical is clearly not working. So that was what led me to Pastor Feyi. Now I wanted to see if maybe this guy, there might be some sense to what he's saying, if I analyze it critically. Unfortunately, now he has been charged with group by the Lagos state government, but he's now out on bail. And he has been saying that the government has been trying to get him for a long time because of his prophecies. In fact, he even denied being invited by the police, saying that he had not received any correspondence that he was supposed to present himself for arraignment, even though there are reports out there that he has been stalling this arraignment for a long time. Many people are more inclined to believe Bishop Feyi. I mean, can you blame us? A month plus to the swearing in, now you're arresting him. I mean, what else do you want us to think? And he's not even the only pastor that has been attacked this period just because they don't speak to their congregation about the ruling party favorably. So before I break down this prophecy by Bishop Feyi, I'd like to ask you to please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for instant updates on my videos. OB Keeng to ease no eye, coming out with the music to ease your mind. Hi guys, it's OB Keeng once again in the house with another video for you guys. This prophecy we're about to enter into, personally I don't believe it, but that's just me. And I don't really think it matters, because the idea of a prophecy is that it's going to happen anyway. It doesn't matter what you do. Me not believing it is basically to protect my mental health. But I think it's kind of funny that the idea of a Tinubu presidency is so bad that people are willing to turn to God to overturn it. That should be a cause for concern, for anybody that wants to lead, but not to these guys. Another thing that makes Bishop Feyi's prophecy unique is he starts with an error. By the way, I'm going to put the link to his prophecy in the description, so that I never thought I'd say it. I said put the link to his prophecy in the description.
In the election, number one, in numbers of votes will be Obi. Number two will be Bat. Number three will be Atiku. However, like I told you, it will be rigged, and you hear number one is Bat, number two is Obi, number three is Atiku.
I said Obi will be one, what's it called, APC will be two, and PDP will be number three. And I said it will be rigged, then APC will be one, Obi will be two, and PDP will be three. Now, the truth is that as I heard the word of the Lord about the prophecy, I never for one took PDP seriously, personally. You know why? Because way back as much as 4 years ago, I knew Goodluck Jonathan was the last president PDP would produce for Nigeria, and I said it. So in prophecy, I don't even look twice at the PDP. However, PDP too went into the game and they rigged.
I don't know, is that how prophecies work? Are prophecies prone to error? Like, can you TPX out a part of a prophecy and say, or asterisk it and say, no, prophecy is subject to review? Anyway, he went on to say that Osibanjo would be declared the next president. Well, not declared, it would be an interim government,
The will of the people has been sealed, as in looking into the sky. But if you ask me, I said, after Buhari, who is the next president? Who will sit on the seat called the throne of Nigerian Pastor? I will tell you the name is Yemi Osinbajo, except when the man says no. But mark my word, he will be offered. The interim government that will rule Nigeria Would that be military? It's not a coup. The military will partner with the interim government and they would ask who should be put on the throne. Buhari will say, I'm done, I'm for peace. And they will say, make Oshibajo the next.
Well, I have my reasons to doubt that. I don't think Buhari cares. Okay, the next part is where he gets a few correct, because this video was recorded a ways before the election.
Today's date is what? Shout it. 19th of 2023. All right.
Some of this stuff is actually kind of mind-blowing. I don't see any way he would have known, except maybe he was inside the inner circle somehow. He says that the APC would have a partnership with somebody in the system and Tinubu Bat would be declared winner.
The presidential election will be peaceful. Don't be afraid. They will not be killings. Go out and vote. However, so because there is no money to buy vote, he will lose in the polls. But already there is a partnership with a man in the system that will cause the vote to be rigged. So suddenly I saw the numbers dropping and I saw INEC announcing BAT as the winner. However, follow me. I even saw what he was wearing.
Of course, which happened, and he even went on to say that there would be a photo where he's doing the Jagaban pose, you know, that one did come to pass. That was oddly specific. Then he also went on to prophesy that Peter Obi would cry. This is another one that a lot of people see as a sign of this prophecy coming to pass, because Peter Obi did cry in his address, his first address after the election results were announced. Of course, Peter Obi was crying because of his story of a young girl he met who couldn't afford an oven to start her catering business. So Peter Obi would later go on to give her the money to acquire that oven, which, I mean, Obi is just a stand-up guy. So Bishop Faye goes on to talk about the revolution.
A revolution is coming. A greater than MSAS is coming. People, the doors will be shut. You will not go to work. You will be in your houses. How will this revolution start? Hear me. How will the revolution start? Somehow, the information will spill out that the election was rigged. And the youth will get to the street. It won't just be Lagos. It will be almost every state of Nigeria. The youth will get to the street and they will start the protests. These protests will lead to a revolution.
There have been a lot of protests lately. It's just that the media is not covering them. Following the elections, there were continuous back-to-back protests in Nasarawa State where people were even going naked. Like women were going naked on the streets, and no media house would report on any of this. Even in Abuja, there were continuous protests. So I think, like, for now, the youths are, like, on the most part, tired. Bishop Faye goes on to say that Tinubu will never be president, as in he will be arrested on the day of the swearing in. Like, that's when the interim government will be formed.
Peter Obi will go to court. He will go to court. And the day for swearing in, Tinubu will come. I saw white, I saw green. About to be sworn in that day. And everybody that I said is the next president will be rejoicing. They will say, yes, I told you. Prophet, I don't see far. Was I telling you? Didn't I tell you Tinubu is the next president? And while at that event, it looks like a very open ground, like a stadium-like center. You know, I'm telling you what will happen. So, while at that event, military men will come in and they will arrest Tinubu. he'll be arrested. And at that point, an interim government will rule Nigeria.
That's one of the interesting things. I can actually see it happening, because the way it looks now is like he's just trying to avoid everybody and everything, avoid all the backlash, and then on May 29th, the swearing in day, he will just hover, the helicopter or plane that has him will just hover, just wait, till the ceremony reaches swearing in time. And then you just land in Eagle Square and then start running to the podium, just so that nothing happens in between, the court doesn't get him. Then when he runs to the podium, he doesn't even give a long speech. He just places his hand on the Quran and just says, "Thank you," runs into Aso Rock. I think that's the plan at this point, because I've never seen where president-elect is not even speaking to the media, he's not making any rounds, he's not even in the country, nobody knows where he is. He then goes on to say that Peter Obi will be arrested.
Before the 29th, the swearing in day, when back to be taken. Before that day, when back to be taken, I saw Peter Obi arrested and detained by DSS after the election. Because he's coming to play the role of somewhat like a Messiah, but not the way you define Messiah. And the way Messiah suffers, he must suffer. You'll be arrested and detained. When moment that is done, please stay in your houses. The moment that is done, the revolution and the riots will increase.
I don't think arresting Peter Obi is a good idea. But that's a terrible idea, because even when you see till now, when Peter Obi makes appearances in public, they are following him like this Messiah figure, and it's because that's where the hopes of everybody lies. Even if Tinubu is sworn in, it's not going to change. It's like this was the man that represented our hope. So anytime they see him, you are going to want to be associated with him. Now he's kind of like a freedom fighter figure. He's not even a presidential candidate anymore. And the funny thing is, you guys are causing this, APC are causing this, INEC are causing this. He's now seen as this otherworldly figure. And even the way he talks now is giving a lot of Nelson Mandela vibes.
It is the same enemies that are fighting us that are fighting the party. It is for us. It's not going to be easy. From day one, I said it's not going to be an easy fight. They're trying to remove all those who have lived off this confusion for years. They're not going to go away laughing. They're going to fight back. It will take time. Whatever happens, we must stay the course, because we want to build a new Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where Nigerians will be proud to say they're Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, committed Nigeria. I don't have any dual nationality. So this is my own country. And I've said it that even if there's war outside this country, if I'm outside, I'll come back, because it's my country.
In the second video Bishop Feyi made, kind of explaining his prophecy and what he saw in his vision, he kind of comes clear and clarifies a lot of things. And he also goes deeper into what he saw. There's this whole story he gave that was kind of interesting. He said that,
so I saw a crowd and they were clothed, they were dressed. Then suddenly the guy was excited. Then suddenly, as I looked closer, I saw that the people seated were not humans. They were mannequins. The mannequins they use in fashion houses? They were mannequins. So this guy was about to be sworn in to be president over mannequins. What does that mean? It means that there is a deception in the realm of the spirit against him. The Lord said to me, I have put lies in the mouth of his prophet. I have put lies in the mouth of his sorcerers. I have put lies in the mouth of the people around him. Political counterpart. Mannequins. So I saw him taken away. And he didn't take that seat. Then another man came. And when another man came to the stage and spoke, the mannequins I saw, they suddenly became human. The mannequins I saw suddenly became human, and they were dressed the same way.
I mean, that would be my reaction. Tinubu swearing in, I'll just be like a mannequin, like. And if he was getting arrested, I'd be like, oh, what's happening here? In his video, he also said that the government has been threatening his life a lot, and he cancels a performance, show, a sermon because of it. And I can imagine how many threats and attacks he must have been receiving, just for saying his prophecies, saying his vision. He's a pastor. That's what they do. Why is it affecting you so much? I'd say like 40 to 50% of his prophecy has come to pass so far. He has already failed like 10%, but if the rest of his prophecy should come to pass, this guy is made for life. Like Bishop Faye he'll be seen as the assistant Jesus. Like, he's going to be richer than Solomon in this country. Like, he's going to be the next big thing. That's, of course, if the group allegations turn out to be untrue, because that would just mean he's a piece of shit. Anyways, that's my take, guys. What do you think about this prophecy? Do you think it will come to pass? Do you think that it's just something to placate the people? Thanks so much for watching, guys. Much respect. Once again, my name is OB Keeng, and I will see you guys in the next one for sure.